Stinky. Smelly. Alright. Why is this one 120 shards? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, you do have it equipped. Oh wait, I'm dumb.
이런 임무는
go.
뱀 중에서도 내가 제일이지.
Or shut up, Rodeo. Okay.
This is the doctor, researcher at Rhodes Island.
Nice to meet you. Huh? Bro, it's so ominous! When I, after everything we went through, finally had the chance to meet the doctor of Rhodes Island, I realized that I'd been building a vastly different image of them in my mind based on the name alone. I was thinking they were going to be someone like Isang, Faust, or Honenheim, LCE. But the first impression of them was similar to what I felt when I met a K-Corp employee. The clock just ticked.
And this is Dante, a manager at Limbus Company. That ticking just now was nice to meet you.
Oh. Thanks for accompanying Amaya. Honestly, I was pretty worried when we were separated at the border. I should be thanking you and Amaya, actually. We've been in a real pickle without her, so...
It's a bit embarrassing to repeat that myself.
Dante says that we would have been in a real pickle without Miss Amaya. Sorry, Manager Bud can't talk human, so don't worry about it. We'll take over the translation. It is incorrect to state that the manager cannot talk human. A more accurate... Bro, for salt! A more accurate assessment would state that the manager is incapable of accessing sonic means of communication, which includes verbal communication. However, they are able to produce repetition of multiple sounds that may register on a similar scale to the ticking of multiple hands, second hands, minute hands of a clock. I don't know, something about the way Mersalt put it sounds worse. Don't worry, it is not a difficult task when only a single individual has to be translated. Doctor, let us move on to the next steps of the plan. Next steps. Thanks to Limbus Company's efforts, we obtained the exact coordinates of the vessel Nassas and managed to capture the decks with ease. However, Fabius, who is suspected to be a bishop of the deep, and his followers have barricaded themselves inside the bridge's control room. While it may seem as though they're hiding, I believe they're trying to bait us. As in, they are waiting for us to enter the bridge before summoning reinforcements from elsewhere, trap us in a pincer attack? Something like that. The elsewhere is most likely to be the sea, as the reinforcements are probably more sea terrors. Fabius is a seaborn, and the ocean will answer to the call of their kind. Limbus Company and Irene will head to the bridge and neutralize Fabius. Amaya and I will accompany you to provide support and identify the situation within the bridge. In the meantime, Fawcett's, and the other operators will remain on standby on the ship's exterior at the pre-designated locations. I'd like to avoid getting surrounded by sea terrors before we manage to take down the Church of the Deep with the bridge. I observed several entry points leading straight to the bridge while we were working on repairing the vessel. Your force doesn't seem numerous enough to close them all off. It's true that there are many entry points here, but we don't need forces guarding every single one of them, especially here. The hallway is narrow, long, and straight, so... Makes sense to me. How about here? Are you sure you're not overtly focusing your forces to a single checkpoint? Let's see. But on closer look, looks like Commanding Officer Otis is finally in her environment. You got any questions, Manager Bud? I have no idea what they're talking about, if I'm being honest.
Really? I saw you commanding the sinners earlier. You seem pretty adept at giving orders and making strategic decisions.
Indeed. They seem quite adept at making on-the-spot commands and identifying exploitable weaknesses and patterns in their enemies. However, the Doctor and the Outsider are operating on fundamentally different fields. No further elaboration is necessary. Agreed. That particular aspect of strategizing is not one of Manager Dante's obligations. Even if there is a chance for them to engage in such elements, it may be too early to do so. Is that so? It is. At least this is what Faust has judged. Thanks, Faust. What are they on about?
I was about to ask that myself.
Don't know. I have no idea. Having finished her discussion with the Doctor over the plan, Otis returned wearing a grim look. Huh? Is there something wrong with the plan? No, there wasn't anything wrong with the plan. I expected a certain degree of competency, but they were impressive. Far beyond my expectations. Even when I think back up to my days in the line of duty, I can't think of too many like them. Right, so they're dependable. Good enough for me. Your strategizing's done, let's get cracking. What of you, Miss Mares? If it is too much to face what awaits, then you need not follow us. I decided to stay here anyway. The doctor's going to update you in real time on where the safe zones are, so please keep that communicator close to you. I will. Hey, if Gramps... Is there something... Oh. Is there something you would like for us to do? No, it's nothing. If there's something you want to tell him, contact us through the communicator at any time. We're going to find a way to resolve this as peacefully as we can, but if the negotiations break down... Yeah, I know what you mean, Doctor. Be safe, everyone. Leaving Maris behind with her unfinished sentence, we followed the Rhodes Island team into the bridge. The bridge was as gaudily decorated as ever. Fabius, flanked by hooded followers and sea terrors, greeted us with a kindly smile. Welcome. I truly did appreciate thy kindness. Wherefore didst thou seek to harm us? Your suspicions are certainly justified, but I implore you to think back. If you truly believe that we sought to harm you, then how would you care to explain that one peaceful night you had spent in Barro Muerto? We have never wished you any harm. We did not then, and we do not now. Not even a day after you folks stabbed us in the back like cowards, and you want us to believe that? Our wish has always been the same. We only wish to extend the freedom to roam the seas to those capable, kind-hearted souls. Mate, we know you were just trying to turn us into some sea monsters of some kind. Monster is only a name. The essence of its being changes not regardless of the label given to it. Become one with the sea, and become one with the endless cycle of life. And one day, your misunderstandings will end, and you will come to understand us. Looks like this fight between us is going to be unavoidable. I pulled out the identity cards the moment I saw Fabius raising his hand. The doctors seemed to have finished their preparations as well, as they and Amaya stood opposite Fabius. Incoming! Get ready, everyone! Let's stop them here for good, no matter how long it takes. Their strategic formation prioritized reducing sacrifices to the absolute minimum. Their commands sought to protect, sought to defend, and their forces were quick to follow them. Rhodes Island operation was certainly impressive, but that's not exactly our style. All I can do is put my faith in the sinners and push them onward. Our style is... trust me to bring you back no matter how many times they cut you down. Let's wipe them out. Yes, sir! Why are you laughing at me? What did I do? I'm not creaturing. I don't know what you're talking about.
행색이 이상하나 그럼에도
Oh,
이상이요.
not this thing again.
내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 줬던 호위 이상이요.
We'll get you started with that. Okay.
태어내리
Seems to be...
시비수에게
lag, hello?
이 앞에 숨쉬는 자 누구 하나 살려보내지 마라. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나
I was,
너무 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
not watching Dead by Daylight gameplay. I don't know what you're talking about. Actually, can you see anything? Yeah, you can. Okay. Just making sure I'm sharing my screen. Wow! You're able to watch.
뭐라
Yeah, yeah.
넣었으니 더는 못 따라나.
creature.
Okay, maybe just a little bit. A little part of me is confused though, so like are all the little like monsters, like were they people? And then they just turn into monsters when they go into combat, or...
So the people are still like people, they're like half transformed, kind of. The rest of them are like just the things that overwhelmed everything to begin with.
Okay. Sure. So. Huh. Okay. That's cool. 14.
헤어내리.
Okay, this is unique music now. For sure. It sounds super ominous though, and this is not a boss fight, so I'm scared for the boss fight music. Chimkin Claire. Actually, maybe Sinclair can take care of that. Be dead. Okay.
이제 깨우치시길.
친히 목을 떨궈주마. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
Oh no. Oh no.
Ish.
혈염도 바로.
It's just about to become fish.
뭐야 차라.
これがリンバスカンパニーの戦闘。私もまた一つ学ばせていただきました。
깔끔하게 물었군.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Start annihilation. Actually, no, maybe you go on this one. Favored? Hong Lu, what do you mean, bro? Broski. Okay. Oh, it's just like... That's a bit scary. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave you on that one. Oh, actually, let's do that. Really? Hello?
Kill them all.
I'm trying to do math right now. Okay, hold on. I guess it's gonna have to work. I don't know what else to do here.
I mean, you block one.
I guess Faust can take a hit.
토끼를 보내라.
Oh,
저
gosh.
해충들을
Okay.
도려내라.
틈을 끊어.
適した攻撃でなくとも最善の選択だったはずです。
길을 열어라.
ドクターのように優れた式ですね。
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
이상이 무엇이라 생각하시오?
Wow, he said the thing. Oh, sorry.
攻撃でした。
This is ideal.
Bro, this guy.
무용하군요.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さん、この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠.
고작 이 정도 탕류에 허던 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
ダンテさんの作戦
OP.
とても効果的で
그쪽
した。
방향이 아닐 텐데.
하나 넘고 둘 넘고 몰아넣었어.
춤긴
다음은 어디로?
무상한 목숨. 불끄득 지원해.
It's using flow.
Wave
敵は
two.
風を追っています。
Oh, brother. No, I was not ready for that. Wait, that has a thing of 3? Oh, F. Wait, that's crazy. What? I didn't know it was that crazy. We may use that. Okay. Well, I'm not for right now though. But oh, 2 skill 3s. Hello, Faust. Gain 50 shield. That's not no bueno. I don't like that shit. But I have to kill his allies, so I can't just leave them. Oh no.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
무용하군요.
敵は深手を負っています。
틈을 끊어. 바로 이.
모든 무상무정 시선해봐야 부질없다 해도 기꺼이 저 풍진 세상으로.
이제 끝내지.
몰아넣었으니 더는 못 따라나.
허술하긴.
味方が優勢です。今こそ勝機をつかむ時です。
날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
Well, that's... What the fuck, Hongmu? I didn't know you did that much damage. Hold on. Oh. Good morning.
바람 불어오는 대로
Wow.
짓밟아라.
이제 깨우치시길.
이제 끝내지.
깔끔하게 몰았군.
Yay! They're pretty persistent. Fabius flees again using sea terrors and his followers as meat shields. Wait, no. I see it now. It's not Fabius who's putting them in harm's way to save himself. Sea terrors and the cultists are throwing themselves in our way, entirely willing to sacrifice their lives to ensure Fabius gets away. But for all that, the only place left for him to flee on the ship, wounded and cornered by sinners and Irene's lamplight, was the decks. Nowhere left to run, Fabius. I understand. You can't help but continue to thrash and struggle to live, even knowing that there's no hope. But running will only make your pain worse. That's different. Abby didn't run to live. A voice echoes from under the dark sky. Mayor? Mayors? Mayor's appearing quite different from what she did a moment ago. She approaches Fabius slowly, her expression solemn and mournful. She looks down at him wordlessly. I told you that your methods won't win their understanding, Fabi. What a shame. I thought those with such wisdom and aptitude. I hoped you would still be able to realize your ideal here, even after I left. It will be realized. Fabius may die here, but we won't. Now it is time. Ah! Excuse me? What Fabius blurred out threw us off once again, even before we regained our footing from the shock of realizing Mayor's true allegiance. Eat people? Oh, looks like they're about to give us a live demonstration of some gourmet art. No, Ryoshu, shut! No! No! Ryoshu, no!
Food hungry.
Just what? Dr. Weaker Seaborns willingly let themselves be devoured by stronger ones, thereby sharing their experiences and nutrients with them. This is a commonly accepted practice among them. It is but a behavior that prioritizes survival over all else. This isn't done in any sense of sacrifice. Time is here. Devour me, set sail toward your ideal. Sorry, Fabi. I've still got some canned food left for me on the ship, and I think I'll delay becoming a Seaborn for a little while. Why? Found a new destination. I'll gain a new power from there, and then become a Seaborn. So now is not the time. That is your will, Lord Bishop. Don't worry, your flesh will fatten the blood kindle. Mayor's waves her hand and the sea terrors climb up to the vessel from the ship and begin tearing Fabius to pieces. Despite the way it looked, Fabius looked exhilarated, nary a look of suffering or pain wrinkling in his face as they ripped his flesh apart. We turned away from the scene that could not be described as anything else other than cannibalism to look at Mayor's. How else does she? Don't need to ask questions when the answer lies plainly before you, Doctor. What is happening? Where forth the young Mayors? It wasn't Fabius. Mayors was the Bishop of the Deep. What the fudge? Bruh. That's crazy.
또 한 줄 길을 남겼군.
Oh my gosh.
물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나면 홍호는 그제야 알게 되겠지.
I don't even like know how to respond to that.
무엇을 바꾸었는지를.
Oh my gosh. Wait, we're almost done. What? No, I don't want this to be over. I'm not happy right now. No. Wait. No. I don't want to kill Mayor's. Mayor's, why'd you have to be evil? No. Oh. Bruh. Why? Why? Okay. Why is it warning? This is just a book section. What? Bruh. They've played us. Don't despair. We still have the upper hand. We defeated Fabius and his cultists already, and even if they were to summon more sea terrors, we should be able to handle him without much trouble. Hey, just what were you thinking the entire time as you deceived us? I had a feeling I knew what she was going to say that. She was either going to say it for our sake, that it wasn't a deception at all, or maybe she'll give us one final uploading. But her reply, the words of which were very carefully selected after gazing out at the far ocean, was not what any of us could have expected. I'm sorry. I thought this would be the better way to approach you, but I see how it can come across as nothing more than deception. Sorry? Dante wants to know why you're sorry. Oh, well, it's because I did something wrong. Wait, hold on. You've been deceiving us all along, Maris, and now you're gonna... Wait, what exactly are you after? You're after the same thing that Geezer was, ain't that right? Turn us into your bloodkins, and that it was all for our sake, giving us all kind of ridiculous excuse to turn us into one of those monsters. I do hope that you would one day accept becoming Seaborns. But I'm not about to demand that you let yourselves be transformed today, right here and now. I understand that we all need some time to mentally prepare ourselves. May I understand your statement to be implying that you will not be forcing this upon us, should we refuse? That's correct. It'd be against manners to do what Fabius did, shoving sea terror cells inside your body out of nowhere. Manners, huh? Well, I was taken aback by the fact that Mayor's was a bishop of the deep. It was also true that Mayor's had never tried to bring us harm, unlike Fabius, who attacked the sinners directly. While she did almost get us in big trouble with Irene while explaining things to us, it's also true that Mayor's has been extremely helpful so far. It was her who led us to the lighthouse. It was her who stayed in that crumbling lighthouse until the repairs were done as the terrifying night continued to assail its walls. What was your actual relationship to Fabius, anyway? Just someone who also once strove to realize the visions of our ideal worlds. Our goals once converged, but not now. I was pretty taken aback, too, when they attacked you back at the village. Maybe he got greedy when he saw Faust and Otis repairing the ship. He got greedy. Fabius believed that welcoming capable people as Bloodkin would expedite Seaborn's evolution. I'm going to the city that lies beyond the dimensional door. So you're trying to flee to a different world where the Inquisition won't be able to chase you? This isn't about running away. I just want to help out the people of the city, that's all. So I'm bringing the Seaborns with me to the city. Don't tell me you're gonna invade the city alongside those monsters, then. Then the foghorn suddenly blared, and the ship shook as it began to move. Huh? Vessel masses has begun to move. Is this an automated sailing program? Vessel masses will now sail toward the dimensional door.
Yippee.
What? What do you mean, yippee? We're not taking her home with us! She's crazy!
Oh.
What do you mean? No! So the city can have more problems? No thanks. Well, I'm sorry, you can't. No. I'll let Rose Island and Irene go right in front of the door, so don't worry. Did you seriously just tell us not to worry? Faust. Please calm yourself, Dante. It has not yet been determined if that is indeed the dimensional door connecting directly back to the city. No, it has to be. The warm, shining light and the voice from within, it's getting clearer and clearer. You're hearing Carmen?! Why don't we just let them into the city? The battles thus far have done well enough to demonstrate the level of danger Seaborns pose. However, I doubt they'll get very far even if they were to enter the city. Don't you agree? In Hongyon, we've seen all that happens when sentient non-human entities enter the city. The head will take action the moment they realize their presence. Of course, we must prepare ourselves for the repercussions in case they decide to hold Limbus Company responsible once the dust settles, yet it is also very likely that we will fully escape any culpability, as we saw in the memories of the Kong massacre. Your thoughts, Faust? Urban nightmare. Oh! Wow! However, considering their specific attributes, it will not take long for them to rise to become a star of the city-level threat. Oh damn, okay. There is a reasonable possibility that they may be issued the Imperitas Civitas classification. Is that not an acceptable risk? If not the head, they should be manageable by a wing. Isn't that terrible of a calamity? This isn't that terrible of a calamity. But Callist shook her head resolutely. No. Your technology seems to be based on something else, which is neither Originum Arts nor any of its derived technology. And that is precisely what could make your world vulnerable against Seaborns. Is it because they learn fast? Yes. Those on the front lines of the war against Seaborns stubbornly stick to using traditional low-tech weapons. Deploying high-technology weapons against them is only going to make you an enticing meal. Then can't we just let whichever unfortunate wing that ends up fighting these... Do take into account that it may take a significant amount of time to earn their trust, even if they were to be convinced. There would be other parties with alternative perspectives on the matter, complicating issues. The situation will rapidly grow out of control if backstreet syndicates or fixers got involved, unless the head designates a taboo to prevent it, even then considering what she's been saying. Yes, we must consider the possibility that they may be capable of absorbing the head's technology as well, before they are expelled from the city. How do you plan on helping the people of the city, Mayors? By giving them a chance to become Seaborns. What are you on about? Become Seaborns? She ain't all there, eh? What kind of help is that? Mayors, you know that's no different from what the Church of the Deep is doing here. No, it is different. Because someone showered the city with the light. The light. The beam of light from the White Nights and Dark Days incident. How do you... could it be? Becoming a Seaborn is to become a great will be called to be many. By doing so, one can be reborn as an altruistic life form, but at the cost of ego, sense of self. And that's always been my issue with it. Everyone has beliefs of their own, dreams of their own. It feels too empty to lose all of that when they inevitably lose their sense of selves as they become Seaborns. Look, I want each Seaborn to have their own wishes. But the light shining through the dimensional door to our world is too faint to push them toward that evolution. If only the light of the city would become more tangible, it just might be able to give every Seaborn an identity of their own to remain uniquely themselves. Then why is it that you advocate for those of the city to join the Seaborn, which one could simply learn more of the light are for returning here? At first, I thought all I needed was the clue to a better evolution, but Don Quixote's tales of adventures changed my mind. Mine adventures? You don't understand just how precarious you all are. And how would you, when you were born into that kind of world from the very start? A place where life has become a commodity, and gold one of its few religions. The city has abandoned its yesterdays to survive today, and by doing so, has given up on its tomorrows. Just as I needed the light, the city needs Seaborns. It needs their tenacious hold to life, and their absolute unconditional selflessness. But at the cost of the day, it still means that everyone has to turn into monsters. People ostracize the other. Something that isn't like me, something that feels alien to me, something that I don't know or understand. So that fear is natural, because Seaborns are not human. But you just have to cross that threshold once. Miss Mayors, do you believe the nature of humanity to be evil? Humans are selfish, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Good things can come from selfishness. That's for sure. But the side effects have become simply unsustainable. Doctor, you've been to countless battlefields where Rhodes Island has fought tooth and nail for the rights of the infected. But what came of it? Peace? No, it's the same. But still, We're all still getting better, little by little. I'm not trying to deride these small incremental steps and call them meaningless. Changes take time, and should it continue, I believe your efforts can be a beacon of light that will lead humanity toward a brighter future. But what about everyone who is sacrificed while you're taking your time, taking those incremental steps? Every single day of that incremental change is marred by unjust deaths. Some are enslaved for no other reason than their differences. People live on in that despair that seems to have no end. Oh. I agree with what the light told me. People are diseased. They're so sick that even in their far-flung future, even on the day the world ends, they will continue to fail to look forward, obsessed with scrutinizing each other instead of searching in each other in search of those differences. Even when every other returns to the sea, they're still going to bully and hate anyone with pointed ears, labeling them as such. Even when apathy is truly eradicated, people are still going to suspect and persecute someone as the infected. People are imperfect beings. You're right. There probably isn't going to be anyone out there who can really sacrifice themselves for the sake of others with nothing but perfect selflessness. But not when it comes to the Seaborns. They don't suffer from all this absurdity, nor are they coerced to sacrifice against their will. They have the power to progress toward a better future built from mutual understanding. Because they're the kind of life form that seeks common ground instead of scrutinizing for differences. The bowels. A strange shape form shimmers and materializes before MAYORS. I couldn't quite tell what it was, but it was round and it looked like a tool. It is possible that she had already met the conditions to Ephoris. A possible explanation would be the absence of the particular pull required to draw it out of her, or the insufficiency of it. This isn't anything like the arts. What is happening in front of Miss MAYORS? Is our proximity to the dimensional door increasing the potency of influences coming over from the city? Precisely. The connection to Faust returning to normal levels seems to indicate that. Wait, can people in other worlds, I mean, MAYORS, also manifest ego? Internal conflict and anguish is a commonality among every intelligent entity, regardless of whether they are from the city or not. Therefore, yes, Faust is quite positive on the possibility as well. However, what does that mean? The potential to effloresce an ego implies the potential to distort as well. Been dreaming for a long time, MAYORS. Drawing your own picture of an idealized world. And you have chosen the ocean as the means to building a path toward that vision. Yet, why have you failed to take the leap of faith yourself? I had to make the preparations. Seaborns are beautiful, there's no doubt about it. It's just that a key piece was missing to really achieve what I want. You're not being honest with yourself. I know it very well that you were afraid of becoming one of them. The fear that your own creed might crumble, that you might lose your own sense of self, your ego. The fear that you might end up becoming nothing more, just another thing swept up by the ineffably overwhelming will. Isn't it terrifying that this hope can just disappear in a blink? Who is she talking to? Is this something Limbus Company has experience with? If so, I'd appreciate an explanation. She's hearing that voice. When that singular faith that one absolute confidence in breaks in one fell swoop, and their ironclad will is shattered. People of the city have the potential to distort into a monstrous form at any time. It is said that these phenomena are often accompanied by the distorting individual hearing a disembodied voice. Indeed, those who distort would oft behave as though they were engaged in a conversation. Of course, the same could be said for those who awaken ego. At first, I thought it was Kathy, but it wasn't her. The voice was beautiful, comforting, and even cozy. The kind of voice that puts all deep contemplation to sleep. So calm and so warm. No. There's more, just the sunshine than his sunshine. You don't share your interests with the other devotee. Survival isn't what you care about. What you really care about is giving everyone a chance to experience what it feels like to live in a world of warmth. Material it may be. Right, we have to be about more than just prolonging our existences. What really matters isn't survival. It's what we leave behind for posterity. Our legacy. As long as there's a guarantee that the light can indeed protect the sense of self, it'll be more than enough to convince people to become seaworms. Please, you don't have to concern yourself with what other people might think. But everyone has their own wishes. You can't just bulldoze over theirs to force mine upon them. But that's not what you really believe, is it? You know that better than anyone. While you hesitate, countless people who are bound to the inescapable riddle will continue to suffer. That might be true, but it's okay. You don't have to hide the shape of your heart. Its colors. The only thing you have to concern yourself with is how you can lead the people of the city, and then Terra. Okay, we can't just sit here and let this happen. Operators to positions. Operators unable to approach. She is surrounded by a strange field, Doctor. Whenever someone would distort you to regions other than the monolith, a strange pressure would prevent our approach, as though to stop us from interfering. Looks like that applies here too, all the way over in another world. Love is our collective destination, after all. So please, let go of this tool that might break your heart. Don't force yourself to walk the path of thorns. Your pilgrimage needn't be that of suffering. No, I... You don't believe in any recourse, do you? Other than this, anyway. Think we should find a better, faster path with less suffering? Before more people inevitably hurt each other with their ill intent? You're right. If there is no recourse, it has to happen faster. I can't waste any more time while people suffer. Follow your wishes. Follow your desires. And paint. Let's show them the painting of your world reflected in your eyes. Before the compassion they believe in is completely worthless. Whoa! Oh, fuck. I understand the shape of your heart and what makes you want to enter the city. But we still know so little about the Seaborns, about Terra, about Iberia. Whatever may have lit the fire under your feet. I can't bring you with us to the city as you are now. Even before the sinners had the chance to translate my words, MAYORS slowly turned in my direction, as though she clearly understood my words. But I must, Dante. Your adventures were full of exhilarating tales, and I saw kindness in every word and action of you and your friends, but that's not enough. You don't think they'll change? No, they will. In the far, far future. An incandescent brilliance burst forth from before MAYORS. Past that light, I saw the ocean. The calm sound of gently lapping, crashing waves, the immense golden brilliance. A portal? Where did it come from? Dungeon of the Fathoms. A gate that leads into one. This periphery is where LCB's department specialty begins. While what lies beyond this periphery does not necessarily warrant Rhode Island's presence. Can you guys help? I don't know what kind of fathoms I'm walking into, but I have a feeling that we're going to need your assistance. Dr. Bliss. We're only here to investigate the dimensional door, but I don't want us to turn our backs on people we can help. Rhode Island accepts Limbus Company's cooperation requests. I'll go too. You're still in Iberia. I can't let Iberian business be handled solely by outsiders, let alone an incident connected to the Church of the Deep. Don't worry. It's not like this is the first time we're letting someone not in our group into a Dungeon of the Fathoms. We'll be fine. More sea terrors. Given the circumstances, it is It seems very likely that sea turtles that were still swarming the lighthouse are coming this way as well. I'll call Scatty here. You'll be staying behind then? Amaya will go with you, Doctor. Following MAYORS, who had already disappeared into the portal, we take our steps into the utopian world beyond. Wow.